Sorry, folks, I forgot to push the television cameras to get them going. So, right here. Okay. Good evening. It is September 26, 2017. I'm calling the meeting to order for the City of Rolling Meadows City Council. Please all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Cannon.
Here.
Majikis. Here. Gallo.
Here.
Banger.
Here.
Diastis.
Here.
Beanbas.
Here.
With 6 present, we do have a quorum. The first order of business is to approve the minutes from the September 12, 2017 council meeting. Is there a motion to approve those minutes? Mr. Cannon has made it and has been seconded. Are there any corrections, additions, or deletions to the minutes? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it, and the minutes are approved. May I have a motion to deviate, please? Ms. Majikis has made that motion. It's been seconded. Purpose of the deviation is a public hearing on the library tax levy. The City Council is scheduled to hold a public hearing on the library tax levy. The purpose of this hearing is to invite oral comments from the interested citizens concerning the library tax levy. Let the record show that the public hearing opened at 7:33 on September 26, 2017. Is there anyone here that wishes to speak regarding the library tax levy? Seeing none, let the record show that the public hearing closed at 7:34 p.m. on September 26th. The second public hearing is the city tax levy. The City Council is scheduled to hold a public hearing on the city tax levy. The purpose of this hearing is to invite oral comments from interested citizens concerning the city tax levy. Let the record show that the public hearing opened at 7:34 p.m. on September 26, 2017. Is there anyone that wishes to speak regarding the city tax levy? Please raise your hand. Okay. Please, would you like to step forward? Thank you.
No, I'm wondering if she's on. Hi, my name is Jenny Vermowski, Okay. and I am a 21-year resident of Rolling Meadows. I'm a little concerned with the tax levy. From Mr. Diastis' post on Facebook, I am under the impression that this money is going to be used for pension for the fire department and the police department. And I just kind of feel that you guys have mismanaged the money, and it needs to be addressed because I feel like I'm getting nickeled and dimed between the state raising our income tax, the Cook County beverage tax. Everybody is coming to all of us for more money. We can all manage our own household budgets. We don't have somebody to go to when we need more money. So I'm asking all of you, if it's an issue of getting more business in to generate more revenue, we have to do something. None of us have more money to give this great city that we all love so much. I don't have any more to give you. So can we put our heads together, maybe have a forum or something, everybody come together. When we voted against South Bay, all the residents came together and had great ideas. And it just kind of feels like that got shoved under the rug. Well, now it's coming to a head again, and I think you're going to have a lot more houses for sale if we don't do something soon. Thank you.
And thank you for coming forward with your thoughts. Thank you very much.
There's some more for tax.
Who's the? I'm sorry. Raise your hand, please. Please step forward. Thank you.
I don't know. Let's see. Patricia Gallant. That might be her.
Patricia.
Maybe.
Hi, Patricia. You signed in, correct?
Yes, I did.
Thank you, Patricia.
I just also feel the same way as Jenny does. I'm Patricia Callahan, and my mom is a 50-year resident. I grew up here, and now I've transplanted back here, and I've been living here since 2012. And I feel the same way. If I don't have enough money in my income, would I have to make cuts elsewhere? I have a budget, and I have to stick to it. I can't go out and ask somebody else for money. I have to stick to my budget and make cuts elsewhere. I don't have any more money to give. I feel the same way. Maybe the city of Rolling Meadows needs to look at your house and clean it up a little bit, make some cuts, work on getting some more revenue in, some businesses, because they pay higher taxes than the residents do. Because the residents are just, we don't have any more money to give. And that's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
And thank you for coming forward tonight. Thank you.
Dale.
Dale? Did he sign?
Yeah.
But we have you on the sheet.
I'm on the sheet, yes.
Thank you, sir.
Dale Ingle King.
Yeah, just state your...
I feel the same way. It's every year, we have a budget. My alderman says he hasn't seen the budget, but we already know we're going to have at least a 4.8% levy. Now, it's like compounded interest. Every year, 4.8%, 4.8%. Well, it's 4.8% on a 4.8 last year, and now it's this year. What's it going to be next year? It's got to stop somewhere. I mean, the city says, it's doing great. We're getting all these businesses in here. Well, if we're doing that well, we must be getting more tax money in. So we get more tax money in, council spends. Or I'm not saying the council, it's not the council's fault, but the city spends. And it's got to stop somewhere. We give away, I shouldn't say give away, we don't collect. We gave the third largest insurance company in the world a $30-some million TIF. Now, that's money that we didn't give them, but we aren't going to collect. Now, we give away Class 6Bs and Class 7Bs like we're Santa Claus at Christmas time. I mean, somewhere down the road, it's got to stop because the residents, the homeowners, can't pay it anymore. We need more businesses. I heard we got a new community development manager in here. I think we should give her a chance, especially down at the Dominic site. Here again, Clark Street comes in and brings the same pig in, puts different clothes on and some new lipstick, and tries to sell you the same thing. There's no revenue. It's just real estate taxes. And if this city is going to thrive, we need businesses. We need sales tax money. So if we can't do it that way, then I don't know what the answer is. But we just can't keep taxing the homeowners. Thank you for your time.
And thank you for coming forward tonight.
I don't see anybody else.
Is there anyone else who wishes to speak regarding the city tax levy? Seeing none, let the record show that the public hearing closed at 7:40 p.m. That brings us to the mayor's report. We have had a few things happening this past couple of weeks. I did get a letter from our Congressman Raja informing us that we are to be congratulated for being awarded Tree City USA for our recognition by the National Arbor Day Foundation. Also, I wish to thank the Chamber of Commerce and also Alderman Gallo and Alderman Beanboss. We had a Chinese delegation that came to visit the city. They spent the day with us. This is the type of economic development that we like to look for. They spent the day looking at the city businesses, meeting the staff. So it was really a great opportunity. Also, for those of you that made the farmers market on Saturday, bless you, because I was there early, and I can tell you it just became warmer and warmer. I just want to thank all the people from the Community Events Foundation and everyone else who has spent the summer making those a success. So I just want to shout out to them. That concludes the mayor's report. Are there any ward reports? Alderman Cannon.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I got an interesting call this week that I thought I would just share with you. One of my constituents called and was very happy that you sent a letter into the county about repealing the county tax. The question they asked me, and I didn't know the answer, is they said, what did the letter say? So they asked if it was possible for you to publish the letter and to send a list of who you sent it to. And that person also recommended that since the vote hasn't been taken yet, maybe we would send another letter and get all of us as co-signees that are sitting up here at least.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Cannon.
Thanks.
Okay. Yes.
Thank you,
Alderman
Mayor.
Jenkins.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to talk about the fact that I've had numerous, and I've spoken this last 2 meetings at least, residents contact me, and also I have some letters that I'm happy to make copies and share with the council and stuff, regarding the proposed cell tower. First off, I just want to clarify again that it is not a flagpole. It is a cell tower with possibly a flag on top of it. I haven't had anybody say that this is, well, I did have one resident that said big, big, big. But otherwise, I have had everybody against this. I know there's a petition that's out there against. I know there was one for, but I know the one against has grown substantially. So I want the residents to know that I'm working as hard as I can on this too, because I don't want it. I'm not going to be far from that either. And I'm concerned about, even though they say it's not a lot of noise, I'm concerned about the noise. I'm concerned about the look of it. I'm concerned about residents' property values. There's a reason they have homes that back up to the park. I think it's important that we get clarification on the zoning codes regarding this. It's been said over and over, and the Park District's letter said that it is an R1 district. In an R1 district, a commercial antenna tower is not allowed. So we just need the clarification on this. At the last committee of the whole meeting, it was mentioned that when I asked for a moratorium, it was mentioned that a permit had been requested for a new cell tower, and I did check into that because that was news to me. And I checked with the Community Development Department, and the clarification on that is that it's not a permit for a new cell tower. So the residents that called me that were concerned about that and wondering, where is this going up all of a sudden? It's a permit that was requested to upgrade equipment on an existing tower. So there is a difference there on that. So I just feel that the residents are asking for clarification on the proper zoning and the proper usage of that land. So before anything can be built there, whether it's 75 feet, 5 feet, 110 feet, I don't care the size of it. I'm just putting it out there right now at this time that during matters not on the agenda, I will be asking that a 30-day moratorium regarding cell towers and antennas, be added to the October 10th agenda, so that this will allow us the time to get the clarification and the answers that the residents are requesting. And I hope that the council will take into strong consideration that the residents are asking for this, and that's who has put us in these seats. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alderman Majakis. Are there any other ward reports? Alderman Diastis.
Thank you. One is an update for people in the 6th Ward. There is a vacant house that many of them know about. The city attorney has mentioned to me that he will be going to court at the end of the month, and hopefully we'll get some direction at that point in time. So thank you for your patience, everyone, but that should be happening. It's on a roll. The second thing is East Frontage Road and parking. I've had numerous contacts from residents who have discussed with me their feelings on parking on East Frontage Road, south of Central to Palm Grove Road. I've spoken with the police chief on several occasions. He's put additional patrols out there. I know he's issued several citations. I've talked to Fred Vogt and asked him to put it on the Traffic Advisory Board to be discussed. And I'm asking that we put up signage on that stretch so people know where they can park and when they can park. Some people think you can't park at all, and I think you can park there during the day. And if that be the case, then we need to have signs that go up that says no parking from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. And where that is. And there is no overnight parking there. That much we know. But some people don't know whether they can park there during the day or not. So the area south of Central to Plum Grove on East Frontage Road. And for all those residents who have contacted me, we are working on this. The next Traffic Advisory Board, I believe, is next week?
It's Wednesday, October 4th,
Okay.
2:30 p.m.
Thank you, Fred. And it will be on that. And hopefully then Fred will give us an update in regards to what the Traffic Advisory Board comes up with as they review that. That's all I have for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Diastis. Are there any other ward reports? Seeing none, we now move on to the meeting being open to the public for 20 minutes. We have a number of folks that have signed in tonight. The council meeting is now open to members of the audience for 20 minutes to address the City Council on matters that are not on the agenda or regarding other issues. We ask that persons wishing to address the City Council keep their comments to 5 minutes in length. Comments must be addressed to the council as a whole through the mayor, and profanity may not be used in any form. Yes, sir.
Just in the order they signed it.
I think we'll do the order we signed in. So this is Alan.
I can't read his last name.
I believe Alan. I'm sorry. And your last name?
Stefaniak.
Stefaniak. Sorry,
Spelled
sir.
Stefaniak.
Thank you, Mr. Stefaniak. You have 5 minutes to address the council.
I'm with the law firm of DeMonte and Lezak. I've been retained to represent Stephen Stramaglia and Karen Stramaglia, his mother, with respect to their proposed re-subdivision of the property at the intersection of Benton and Fairfax. I think it's item number D on your consent ordinances for tonight. I've read the plan. I was retained after the Plan Commission hearing. I've read the Plan Commission meeting minutes and the various staff reports. I think there's some issue with respect to the property itself and the one lot that is going to be a little bit less than the 10,000 square feet, about 9,200 square feet. So I think the hardship that the Stramaglias face with developing this parcel of property is the fact that it's just shy of 30,000 square feet. 2 lots of 14,500 square feet are going to be out of character with the area. So I think it's more compatible to give the 3 lots. The one that's 9,200 square feet is going to be adjacent to the other properties to the east that are also zoned R2. I think another factor in their favor is they are going to improve the drainage in the area, and there's a $20,000 drainage improvement that will be part of this. We've offered, in working with your staff, to grade our property, so if more of that, whatever issues are out there with regard to the drainage to the east, can be filtered into this underground system that we're proposing on Lot 3, we'd be happy to do it. So I think for those reasons, the variation should be granted. I don't think there's going to be, we've submitted information from local realtors regarding real estate values. So we'd hope that you'd look favorably on the request. I have our engineer here, and Steve is here if you have any questions.
Thank you for addressing the council. Steve Stamaliak, you're next. Okay, thank you. Teresa Budmatz has signed in. Thank you for addressing the council. You have 5 minutes.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Mayor and members of the City Council. My name is Teresa Budmatz, and I live at 2620 Benton Street in Palatine, which is located within the Rolling Meadows city limits. Our family has resided in Ward 2 for 22 years, 11 years at our current address, which is adjacent to the property on your agenda tonight for a variance to allow subdivision of the property located at 2600 Benton Street. The property in question has been approved in the past to be subdivided into 2 lots of approximately 14,600 square feet each in 2009, and the approved subdivision was thereafter extended by ordinance in 2011. This same petitioner, as in 2011, now comes to you asking to alternately divide the property into 3 pieces, with one of them requiring a variance due to the lack of square footage as required by the zoning code of Rolling Meadows. Because the property is zoned R1 and requires a minimum lot size of 10,000 square feet. I spoke with my alderman, Jerry Hill, shortly prior to his untimely passing about this potential subdivision. He told me to leave nothing unsaid in a hearing because once granted, a variance would not be able to be rescinded. I have looked in the Rolling Meadows Municipal Code and specifically at Section 9840A, and I find that the code allows for a variance in cases of hardship. According to public record, this property was purchased by the petitioner's son in May of 2010 for $235,000. In her documentation presented for this meeting, the petitioner provides a present estimate of the property's value and gives a current market analysis at $581,666. This means that she and her son have more than doubled their investment in just over 7 years. And I am not sure I define that as a hardship. It should be noted that the 3 comparable properties identified within her realtor's market analysis have lot square footages of 10,364 square feet, 13,039, and 15,307 square feet, respectively. Therefore, her market analysis does not justify or support her claim that a home located on a smaller lot provided by a variance would not diminish the adjacent home values located on similar larger lots. The petitioner also states that her hardship is related to conformity with the neighboring properties. The most recent subdivision on this same block occurred in 2015, also known as Fairfax Estates. That petitioner's property was 66,600 square feet. City records indicated that the petitioner wanted to make several lots, 5 to 6, from that property. However, in her summary, the Planning Commission dated May 15th of 2015, Valerie Diener, then the Community Development Director of Rolling Meadows, recommends that the property be subdivided into 3 lots of 15,800 square feet each and a 4th lot of 19,200 square feet, so that the property would be, quote unquote, in keeping with the character of the area. Please note that this subdivision, Fairfax Estates, is within 25 yards of the 2600 Benton Street petitioner's property, and in my opinion establishes the appropriate and most recent lot size allowed and recommended for this particular city block. The zoning code is supposed to provide uniform use of the land. The petitioner's original request in 2011 was for 2 lots of 14,600 square feet. I respectfully request that the City Council merely enforce and support the existing zoning code without variance and the character of the area established by the Council and Planning Committee in its most recent subdivision in the same city block in 2015. I would like the Council to be clear that I do not object and would welcome the original subdivision of 2 lots comparable in lot and home size to the existing neighborhood. Thank you for your time and thoughtful consideration to this matter.
Thank you, Mrs. Spudvance.
Thank you.
Jan Kolakowski. Sorry. Was I close on the last name?
Exactly.
Thank you very much. You have 5 minutes to address the council.
My husband and I have lived in Rolling Meadows for nearly 40 years and raised our 3 kids here. We love the city and the beautiful park just across the street from our home. However, in reviewing the zoning code, as I interpret it, Section 122 allows only non-commercial antenna structures. Therefore, it's silent on commercial, so therefore it wouldn't be allowed. I think that installing allowing to install the commercial antenna is a little premature without having a text amendment to change the zoning code, to allow it before you can approve it. I think it's going to diminish the property value, though, and increase noise and light pollution. And the fact that they're using the American flag and kind of wrapping that into this whole thing is trying to make it more palatable, but it's not passing, in my opinion. Please vote no.
Thank you for coming forward tonight. The next signatory is Jim Roberts.
Thank you. Since we're all telling us how long we've been in the city, I'll let you know that I've been a resident for 61 years. To me, I'm glad that the 110 height and the flag has been pulled. But the bigger question is, like Jan said, is this whole zoning thing. I don't know, Barry or Mr. Crumstock, did you?
Okay, you address it. Thank you.
All right. But anyway, basically she was reading what is in the zoning code, and it is quite clear as to what you can and cannot have on a residential and a commercial property. And it clearly states in here that an antenna structure, non-commercial, means any structure, mast, pole, tripod, tower, or parabolic satellite receiving dish utilized for the purpose of either transmission or reception or both when used for private radio, television reception, for transmission and receptions for licensed amateur radio operator. This doesn't fly as far as I'm concerned with Verizon. It's strictly a commercial company. So that's what really needs to be addressed. I hope you guys really think about this moratorium thing. I think it's a great idea because it's very clear that there's a huge gray area here that nobody's even looked at. The original variance should have been for a 75-foot commercial tower in an R1 residential zone. That's what the original variance should have been for, not to extend to 110 for the flag, but the variance for putting a commercial tower in an R1, where it clearly states you can't do that. So unless I'm not reading this right, and I'm not a lawyer, but I can read and I can understand, I certainly understand a few things about code. This needs to be looked at and looked at very carefully and very thoughtfully. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming forward, Mr. Robert. The next signatory is Robin Grunfeld. Thank you for coming forward tonight.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm here against the cell tower. I echo everything Jim has said, and I'm really fighting hard not to have this cell tower put in a park. We do need cell towers. People complain about their, cell phones not having enough power or whatever. But our parks are used for enjoyment. And the Park District does a great job enhancing our parks with flowers and trees and updating our play equipment. A cell tower that's going to enhance? I don't think so. It's not going to enhance it, and it's not going to bring beauty to our parks. We need to keep them just the way they are. Thank you, and that's all I have to say for now.
And thank you for coming forward. The next person up is Gail Bergstrom.
Good evening. My name is Gail Bergstrom. I am also a resident of Rolling Meadows since 1983. I'm also a real estate broker at Remax at Home, which is located in Rolling Meadows. I'm here to discuss the variance requested for 2600 Benton. I think it's wonderful builders are coming into Rolling Meadows. Rolling Meadows is, and as you've heard, a wonderful community to live in. People take care of the community. People love the community. People stay in the community. Their children remain in the community. So people are looking for homes, and new homes are the hot topic. However, what buyers are looking for right now is land. They're tired of hearing best use of land. That is the return on investment for the builder and getting the most of the money. What the buyers are looking for, and I work buyers and sellers. I'm out every day on the street working with them. They're looking for land. They're looking for at least 11,000 to 16,000 square feet. Nice size home, wonderful community, which we have to offer. They are, and I put packets together, they want to enjoy the outside, just like the parks. Minus the cell tower. They want to have patios. They want to have swing sets. They want to have pools for their children. They don't want those little postage, as they call it, postage stamped size lots. They don't want to live one on top of another. I grew up in Chicago. I'm used to that. That's why I came out to the suburbs. What I've done is I've put together a package for everybody, because I know we had limited time. And what it does is it entails kind of what's going on in the community, that areas surrounding Fairfax and Benton, what the average lot sizes are, which are wonderful. How many days on the market for smaller lots versus larger lots. You're going to notice that the larger lots go much faster. And again, as a realtor, when something comes up in the surrounding community, Rolling Meadows, Palatine, Arlington Heights, and it's on a nice sized lot, everybody wants to get out the first day. They're even asking, going, can you find out if anything's going to be listed prior to it going on the market? We really want a nice home, nice community, and a nice lot. So I hope that you will agree to the building on Benton, however, that you'll agree to what it was originally zoned for. 2 lots, not 3, without a variance. I thank you for your time, and you have a wonderful evening.
And thank you for coming forward this evening. The next signatory up is Stan Reynolds.
Good evening.
Good evening, and thank you for coming forward to speak tonight.
My name's Stan Reynolds. My wife and I live at 4551 Fairfax Avenue, Palatine, Illinois, and it's near the 2600 Benton property. I'd like to just make a clarification of something that I learned about a couple of days ago. It was brought to my attention that without our knowledge, my name and my wife's name were added to a petition circulated by Karen Stramaglio indicating support of 3 homes at 2600 Benton Street. We did speak with Ms. Stramaglio when we were out in our yard one day, but at no time did she state she was circulating a petition to support her project. nor did we state we supported 3 homes on the property. We did express our concerns regarding drainage. And just as a side note, by the way, I'd like to thank the people who took the responsibility for cutting down the weeds in the old Dominic site. Looks so much better going by there now. Thank you.
And thank you for coming forward tonight. Thank you. Next person up is Donald Kungs. Thank you.
Thank you. I also, like the last gentleman, I saw the petition, did not sign it, did not approve of anybody signing it for me. My name is on the bottom of the petition that I agreed. About 2 weeks ago, the lady came by, talked with me and 2 other neighbors, had no petition in her hand, did not ask me if she could sign it for me, and did not ask me to sign anything. So as soon as I saw my name on the petition, I went and talked to the 2 other neighbors that I was with. They don't recall a petition. They don't recall her asking to sign my name for me. They did not anything. I lived in this area for over 40 years, and the property you're talking about, I lived there for 10 years in the 70s. So I'm very familiar with the area. And I just want to make sure that it's clear. I did not sign the petition. I did not approve of it being signed. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming forward this evening. The final signatory is Renal Patel. Sorry, is it Renee? Renee? Rena, would you please step forward?
Not ready to speak. That's okay.
Pardon me?
I don't wish to speak, so I guess I need to
Just want to speak.
be like me to speak.
Do you wish to speak or no? No? Then thank you. Seeing that there's no other sign-ins on the sign-in sheet, the council moves to its first order of business, which is ordinance in for a second reading. Ordinance A, number 17-29, text amendment for T1 and T2 districts to allow for a fire station are in for a second reading. This ordinance, if adopted, would amend the city's comprehensive zoning code to allow fire stations in cities T1 and T2 zoning districts. Is there a motion to adopt the ordinance? Mr. Cannon has made the motion and it has been seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Majikis?
No.
Gallo?
No.
Baner?
Yes.
Diastis?
Yes.
Veenbos?
Yes.
Cannon?
Yes.
With 5 in favor and 2 opposed, the ordinance is adopted. Ordinance B is number 1730, contract for purchase of 3201 Algonquin Road. This is in for the second reading. This is the ordinance, if adopted, would authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute, deliver on behalf of the city a purchase and sales agreement providing for the city to purchase the property commonly known as 3201 Algonquin Road, Rolling Meadows, Illinois, to allow the city to acquire the property for the purpose of building a fire station. Is there a motion to adopt the ordinance?
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Diastis has made the motion and has been seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Gallo?
No.
Baner?
Yes.
Diastis?
Yes.
Veenbos?
Yes.
Cannon?
Yes.
Majikis?
No.
With 5 in favor and 2, with 4 in favor and 1 opposed. 4 in favor and 2 opposed. The ordinance doesn't pass. Ordinance C, in number 17-31, disposal of ordnance. This ordinance, if adopted, would allow the disposal of items that have been determined to be surplus by the Public Works, Fire Department, and the Police Department. Is there a motion to adopt this ordinance?
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Diastis has made that motion and was seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Baner.
Yes.
Diastis.
Yes.
Veenbos.
Yes.
Cannon.
Yes.
Majikis.
Yes.
Gallo.
Yes.
With 6 in favor and none opposed, that ordinance is adopted. Do you have a motion to deviate, please? Mr.
Majikis.
Mrs. Majikis, thank you, and it has been seconded. The purpose for the deviation is to appoint Mr. Nick Budmatz as alderman for the 2nd Ward. It has been this, and is there any discussion? Seeing none, okay, will the clerk please call the roll?
Diastis.
Yes.
Veenbos.
Yes.
Cannon.
Yes.
Majikis.
Yes.
Gallo.
Yes.
Baner.
Yes.
With 6 in favor, none opposed, I will now swear in Mr. Budmatz. Please raise your right hand. I, Nick Budmatz, having been appointed to the office of Alderman Ward 2 in the city of Rolling Meadows, county of Cook, and state of Illinois, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the state of Illinois, and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Alderman Ward 2 to the best of my ability. Thank you. Congratulations. We're just going to take a couple minute, a little recess. If the family would like to come up and take some pictures, just so you have that opportunity.
Yeah.
We have to wait for Laura.
Yeah.
That's what I was originally thinking, because, you know, my mantra's been for a while is to.
That's good.
need to do them all. 29.
I don't either. So you see what I got?
This now brings us on to the consent ordinances. I'm sorry. I will ask the clerk first to please call the roll.
Cannon.
We're doing a roll call because we now have 7 people.
I'm still here.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Bud Matts.
Here.
Majikis. Here. Gallo.
Here.
Baner.
Here.
Diastis.
Present.
Vima.
Here.
7 present. We do have a quorum. The next item on the agenda is the consent ordinance. It consists of 8 items, items D through K. Since we have received a letter from cell tower people, as mayor, I'm pulling ordinance G, so that will not be up for discussion tonight. That leaves us items D. That leaves us 7 items on the agenda. Does any alderman wish to pull an ordinance?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Alderman Majikis?
D, please.
Sorry. D, thank you.
D, yes.
Any others? So then the chair declares an order for one motion to consider 6 ordinances in one motion without debate. Is there such a motion? Mr. Cannon has made the motion and has been seconded. The question is, shall all 6 ordinances be moved forward for a second reading? Clerk, please call the roll.
Bud Matts.
Yes.
Majikis.
Yes.
Gallo.
Yes.
Baner.
Yes.
Diastis.
Yes.
Vima.
Yes.
Cannon.
Yes.
With 7 and no against, it moves on. Second reading. Ordinance D grants preliminary approval of a 3-lot. Excuse me. Ordinance D grants preliminary approval of a 3-lot subdivision with a variation for 1 lot size for property located at 2600 Benton Street, R1, single family, residential zoning district. This is the first reading. This ordinance, if adopted, would grant preliminary approval of 3-lot subdivisions. At its meeting held on Wednesday, August 2nd, 2017, the Planning and Zoning Commission voted 4-4 with 1 absent to give preliminary approval of the proposed 3-lot subdivision with a variance for 1 lot for the property at 2600 Benton Street in the R1 single-family residential district. Ms. Majikis, you have pulled it.
You need a motion.
I need a motion. I'm sorry. Need a motion to move forward, please. Mr. Baner has made that motion. It has been seconded.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor, who was the second?
Pardon me?
Who's the second?
Oh, Mr. Majikis.
Did you second it?
No, I did not. No.
I'm sorry?
No, I didn't.
Do I have a second for it?
I'll second it.
Mr. Gallo seconded. Ms. Majikis, you pulled it?
Yes, I pulled it because I do have reservations regarding the size of the 3rd lot also. I agree with Ms. Bergstrom in her evaluation. The people do want backyards. They don't want to be squished in. And, and when your neighboring properties show that, I have a concern of all of a sudden trying to squeeze a 3rd one in. So I am not in favor of this.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion? Mr. Baner.
Thank you. I'm in favor of this. I read the packet on the council agenda. I looked at the dueling petitions. And for the 2 gentlemen who came up to speak about not putting their names on that petition, I actually, when I read that thing, I didn't think you had. I was thinking that was footnotes by the petition taker about when she had talked to people. So the rest of the folks who added their comments either for or against, for me, when I was evaluating this, the bottom line came down to just letting the developer who wrote the check for this piece of property develop it as they wish. And I don't think it's unreasonable, which is why I'm going to support it tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion? Okay. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Majikis?
No.
Gallo?
No at this time.
Baner?
Yes.
Diastis?
No.
Veenbos?
No.
Cannon?
Yes.
Budmats?
Present.
So with, sorry, I lost track of the vote. What do we have, 4-2?
I'm sorry.
Okay. The vote is 4-2 and against, and the ordinance does fail. So, thank you. This brings the council to new business, the motion to approve the payments of the bills on warrants for 9/26/17. Is there a motion to approve the warrants? Mr. Cannon has made it and has been seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the question is, shall the warrant be approved? The clerk will please call the roll.
Gallo?
Yes.
Baner?
Yes.
Diastis?
Yes.
Veenbos?
Yes.
Cannon?
Yes.
Budmats?
Yes.
Majikis?
Yes.
7 in favor and 0 opposed. The ordinance does pass. The next item on the agenda is the consent resolution. It consists of 4 items, items M through P. Does any alderman wish to remove an item from the consent agenda for resolutions? Mr. Baner.
Item P, please.
Okay. Are there any other items?
Item M.
Item M. Are there any other items? The chair declares in order. The chair declares it in order for motion for have M, N, and O as one motion. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
It has been moved and it has been seconded. Is there any discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Baner?
Yes.
Diastis?
Yes.
Veenbos?
Yes.
Cannon?
Yes.
Budmats?
Yes.
Majikis?
Yes.
Gallo?
Yes.
With 7 for and none against, it moves forward. Mr. Budmats, you pulled Resolution M?
No, it was Mr. Gallo.
No. M was pulled by
Mr. Budmats. Mr. Budmats pulled
Budmats.
Resolution M. Go ahead,
Correct.
Mr. Budmats.
I have no problem with M.
I'm sorry. We need a motion to approve. Do I have such a motion? Mrs. Gallows, I'm sorry. Mrs. Majikis has made it. Do we have a second? Thank you, Mr. Banger. Go ahead.
I have no problem with M, the purchase of the lift at the garage. I had a conversation with staff. There's a provision in this contract called a hold clause, and it could potentially leave the city open for large costs that are hidden. And so I was told that there would not be a chance of that happening, that the city council controls those costs, but sometimes this will come up as an emergency during the process of installing the lift, that a additional cost would be assessed, and so I just wanted to make sure that it was well known that we really should make sure that that's not approved if it exceeds whatever's normal for staff to approve for an unexpected expense.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Diastis?
Yes.
Veenbos?
Yes.
Cannon?
Yes.
Budmats?
Yes.
Majikis?
Yes.
Gallo?
Yes.
Baner?
Yes.
Mr. Banger, every year, resolution number 17-R-111, to approve a Halloween trick-or-treats. This resolution, if adopted, would approve the hours for Halloween. The hours would be from 3 to 8 p.m. Do we have a motion?
So moved, Mayor.
And it has been seconded. Mr. Banjer, please enlighten us.
For all children in Rolling Meadows, this is the crabby alderman.
That's right. This might be a good year to propose my amendment to change this from 4 to 8, from 3 to 8. I've said it in the past, kids aren't even out of school yet at 3 o'clock, and it's actually true by a wider margin this year as the high school changed their hours. I think they get out well after 3 o'clock. So I would, and I've always said that I thought 5 hours was a long time to have kids running around town. So I want to make a motion to amend this to 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock. If you look at our other suburbs, they're mostly 4 hours in duration, so we would be in line with them. And I think, as speaking from a Crabby Old resident's standpoint, that's a long time to wait out on your porch to give kids your Tootsie Rolls that I subdivide into 3 parts for each kid. So I'm going to make that motion. If I get a second and people agree with me, I would appreciate your support. If not, it's my tirade against long Halloween hour for the year. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Benjamin has made the motion. Has it been seconded?
Well, it's been seconded already.
I'm sorry, Mr. Cannon, you seconded it?
No, we did already.
Okay.
I thought this was discussion now.
Okay, we're going to discussion. So he amended. He's amending it. Originally, it was from 3 to 8.
Excuse
me.
He
made the motion to make it 4 to 8.
He's got me so nervous. I'm out of
Okay,
control.
so now the motion is for 4 to 8, and we need a second.
Yes. Nope.
For lack of a second, the motion dies. Will the clerk please call the roll on the original resolution?
Veenbos.
Yes.
Cannon.
Yes.
Bud Matts.
Yes.
Majikis.
Yes.
Gallo.
Yes.
Baner.
Yes.
Diaz.
Yes.
7 for and 0 against. It does pass. This brings the council to other businesses and report. I would like to appoint Alderman Nick Budmatz to the Ad Hoc Vehicle Replacement Committee. Is there a motion to approve this appointment? Ms. Majikis has made it. It's been seconded by Mr. Cannon. Is there any discussion? Would the clerk please call the roll?
Cannon.
Yes.
Bud Matts.
Present.
Majikis.
Yes.
Gallo.
Yes.
Baner.
Yes.
Diaz.
Yes.
Veenbos.
Yes.
7 approved and 0 against. Congratulations, Mr. Budmatz. You're getting a full plate tonight. So, the mayor has no proclamations. Does the clerk have a report?
Oh. No, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. That brings us to city staff reports and the community items of interest. Mr. Crumstock?
I actually have a few new ones that are not on the list. And obviously, what was mentioned earlier, we do want to thank all the volunteers and all the residents and all the friends who came out for the final 2017 Farmers and Food Truck event that was conducted on Saturday, September 23rd. Obviously, it was a small and slow and steady turnout. It was quite warm. Black asphalt makes it even warmer. But we do greatly appreciate everybody who came out there, especially the volunteers, for making it another successful year. And obviously, before one of the future Community of the Whole meetings, we will be talking about 2018 events, and stay tuned for that one. What's that discussion? Obviously, on Saturday, October 7th, the City Park District and Community Events Foundation will be conducting a hometown hoedown. There will be more information coming out about that, but it is at Kimball Hill Park from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. And obviously, on Saturday, October 14th, the fire department will be conducting its open house from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the fire station located at 2455 Plum Grove Road. Regarding that, we do say goodbye to Fire Chief Scott Fransgrove. He gets Tuesday nights free again. We hope him the best of luck in his retirement. And this will be the first open house for Chief Valentino. So we hope everybody comes out. He'll be by the hot dog stand like usual, giving out the food between 10 and 2 p.m. We also want to mention coming up on Wednesday, October 4th, there will be a coffee with a cop that will be at McDonald's on Kirchhoff Road between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. And the final, actually, one of the other items that I want to mention is for the Rolling Meadows Crime Stoppers on October 9th between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. They will be doing a fundraiser at Portello's. You do need a flyer or get your smartphone and take a picture of it. Obviously, 20% of the proceeds will help Crime Stoppers. That is going to be, again, at Portello's at 1900 West Gulf Road. That is October 9th between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. If you have any questions, the current chairman, president of Crime Stoppers is actually sitting in the third row. Dave Whitney would be more than happy to give you a flyer if you would like to pass out. And then the final item that we want to add is obviously the newest business that will be doing a ribbon cutting / opening for the community is going to be the Village Bank and Trust, the Rolling Meadows Community Bank, which is located at 1635 West Algonquin Road on Saturday, October 14th, between 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. They will actually be doing they're celebrating their new location. We hope everybody goes between 10 and some point in time to that, and then they can go to the open house at the fire station on the same day. But again, those are the items of interest with additional items that we have.
Thank you. And we're back to you, Mr. Comstock, for new businesses.
We actually have the 2017 August new business list. There are 3 new businesses. Obviously, all are important, but we do have one new home occupation that we do want to just mention. He's located at 3302 Owl Drive. He does painting and handyman services, and obviously, if you have any questions, that is actually on the list. But with that, those are the 3 new businesses that we had for August.
Thank you, Mr. Comstock. Hometown Hoedown update. Ms. Lori Zizak.
Thank you, Mayor. Dust off those cowboy boots and giddy up on down to the second annual Hometown Hoedown on Saturday, October 7th at Kimball Hill Park. This country western style fall fest will take place from 1 to 6 p.m. and will feature a great lineup of live music and activities that will please all ages. Thank you to Constellation Energy for your generous sponsorship of this event, as well as the Rolling Meadows Park District for your support. Free horse-drawn hay rides will take place all day, along with kids' crafts, a fall photo booth, mini golf, and a bounce house. A $5 cowboy cookout will be served from 2 to 5 p.m., and delicious mini donuts will be available from the popular Jimmy's Bag of Donuts. Performances will take place at 1:15 by Miss Jamie at the Farm, at 2:15 by Arlington Square Dancers, and at 3:30 by the band Killing Bottles. To help support future community events like this one, the Rolling Meadows Community Events Foundation will be selling authentic autographed sports equipment from the Cubs, the Blackhawks, the Bears, and more. We hope to see you there.
Thank you. Are there matters not on the agenda this evening?
Mr. Mayor.
Go ahead, Ms. Majakis, please.
Thank you. As I stated in my word report, at this time, I'm asking that we add to the agenda on October 10th, if possible, regarding a 30-day moratorium that is in relation to the cell towers and antennas, so that, again, just reiterating, so that we can get clarification for the residents on the proper zoning and usage of that land. So if that could be added to the October 10th agenda, myself and a bunch of residents would appreciate it.
Thank you, Ms. Majakis. Mr. Gallo, sir.
Just to close the loop on the methods of communicating this, the 4th Ward will be holding a public forum for members of the 4th Ward at the Rolling Meadows Library this Thursday, the 29th, at 6:30 p.m. on the second floor in the community room. So feel free to come with your topics, your questions, comments, or concerns, and we'll have a friendly discussion.
Thank you, Mr. Gallo. Mr. Cannon, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. In light of the resolution we passed earlier to buy our property down in Algonquin, and the next COW meeting, I would like to have a discussion about putting our current lot that's on Algonquin up for sale at our earliest method possible. I guess we need to discuss it first, though.
Thank you, Mr. Cannon. Seeing no other items, there is a go into closed session. First there's a request to go into closed session to review closed session minutes, 5 Illinois CS 120-2 C21 of the Illinois Opens Meetings Act. Also, number 2 is for land acquisition from the 5 Illinois CS 122 C5 of the Illinois Open Meetings Act. Is there a motion to go into closed session? Mr. Cannon has made it. It has been seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Budmats.
Yes.
Majikis.
Yes.
Gallo.
Yes.
Baner.
Yes.
Diestis.
Yes.
Veenbos.
Yes.
Cannon.
Yes.
With 7 in favor, none opposed, the audience and members of the press are advised that we do not anticipate taking any action upon returning to open session.